I'm Dr. Jennifer Singh. I'm a lifestyle medicine and internal medicine doctor. I'm going to talk to you today about stress and what you can do about it. Stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension that's caused by a difficult situation. Sometimes stress is not actually caused by a difficult situation, but simply by our thoughts and stories in our mind about a difficult situation. Our body responds to these triggers and prompts and stories and situations with reactions to address challenges and what it thinks are threats in our lives. Everyone experiences stress to some degree, and some stress can be okay. It can be good. It helps us perform our daily activities. It can help us succeed at our job or with our goals in life. But too much stress can cause physical and mental health problems. It's important to understand that stress impacts not just your mind, but your body as well.
My name is Darshan Mehta. I'm the medical director of the Benson Henry Institute for Mind-Body Medicine at Massachusetts General Hospital. So stress affects the body in many different ways. It affects our physiology. So for example, when we are in the stress response, we could have changes in our blood pressure, in our heart rate, the way we breathe. So that's one example. It affects our emotions. So when we're in the stress response, we could experience emotions of fear, of worry, of anger, of irritability. It affects the ways in which we think. So we may have thought distortions. I'm not good enough, or I won't be able to do this, or this is huge.
The way you respond to stress makes a big difference to your overall well-being. The stress response is initiated in our brains by the activation of a certain part of your brain called your amygdala. This part of your brain can perceive a threat that's either real or even one that's just in your mind. The amygdala activates a complex series of hormones that alter the cardiovascular and metabolic function of your body. This means you might experience an increase in your heart rate, an increased blood flow to all your major muscle groups, and a lack of appetite. The stress response makes it difficult to concentrate, and it can impact your mood. We've all experienced a bad mood when we were stressed out. More importantly, if your stress isn't managed, the changes that it causes in your body and your mind can cause long-term problems for you.
From a health perspective, we see the emergence of stress-related illness. That includes conditions like hypertension. It can include conditions like diabetes due to the insulin resistance. It can have implications on our immune system. We know that people who are in increased stress response are more susceptible to common things like the cold, for example. So there are many different things that impact our body. And people who are under chronic stress can have chronic diseases.
So what can you do to manage your stress level? Well, we all have to admit that modern life just can be quite stressful in and of itself. We know that communities of color are disproportionately affected by stress caused by long-term community bias and discrimination. However, there are some important strategies that you can do right in your own home. The first thing you can learn to do is elicit something called the relaxation response. Many patients are surprised to learn that you have your own relaxation pharmacy that you carry around in your brain and your body all the time. And you can learn to trigger that with some simple exercises at home. The goal of these is to activate that part of your brain and to activate the part of your brain that's used for rational thinking and compassion. That's in a part of your brain called your prefrontal cortex.
The first step is really having an awareness. Are you aware when you're in stress? And there are several different ways of building that awareness. One of the things that we like to teach our patients is this approach called stop, breathe, reflect, and choose. So the first thing is being able to stop. So when you notice that you're in the stress response, you actually just stop. And one easy way of doing this that we often will do is just taking a deep breath. Are able to just pause and take a deep breath. And then you build awareness of the stress in front of you. Then the second step will be to then breathe. We're making different choices with our breath. we will notice that when you're in this type of physiology, our breath rate decreases. As a result of it, we actually feel better. We feel more grounded. We feel more at peace. The third step will be then to reflect. And that's where we have different types of strategies. We can choose to problem solve. We can choose to accept. We can choose to empower ourselves with another solution. So again, there are different options here. So the final step will be to choose. And when we choose, we can employ or utilize different types of strategies to make the choice. And that becomes an action-oriented step. So when we do this stop, breathe, reflect, and choose, we are actually in the process of cultivating a whole different possibility for our own selves.
Another important strategy for stress management is developing some healthy coping strategies. We can all likely think of unhealthy coping mechanisms. Stress eating is a favorite for many people, but using alcohol, smoking cigarettes, or things that are even easily available now, like binge watching television or doom scrolling on your phone, can all alleviate stress, but they're not always healthy coping strategies. Cultivating healthy coping strategies using all the pillars of lifestyle medicine can really give you some powerful tools. Going for a walk and moving your body can help trigger that relaxation response and release chemicals in your brain that make you feel better. Connecting with someone like a trusted friend by reaching out for a social connection is another powerful tool to fight stress. Learning to get a good night's sleep can be a powerful tool against stress. And even working on your nutrition and learning to improve your diet and packing your body with those healthy whole foods can help stress. What role does being positive have in stress management? Interestingly, focusing on happiness and gratitude and what's going well in your life is a powerful science-based way to counter stress. You may believe that many people are just lucky and born with optimism or a positive outlook, or they're just a cheerful person. But science shows us that the science of positive psychology teaches that we can all learn to be more optimistic and have more positivity. Learning to have more positivity and optimism can have incredibly healthy effects on your body and your mind. One powerful tool is a gratitude practice. This is simply taking a few moments every day to sit down and write about what is good or what is going well in your life, no matter how small. Choose 3 things to write either in the morning or at night. Studies have shown that the positivity and good hormones that are triggered by this practice last through the rest of the day and sometimes even for days. Develop a ritual of sharing this with people in your life. Share your gratitudes with a friend or even your family around the dinner table. Practicing gratitude has been shown to rewire our brains. It increases happy hormones that boost our mood, like serotonin and dopamine, and it even increases the amount of gray matter in certain parts of your brain.
What I hope you have come away with is that learning stress reduction is actually easy. It is doable. All of us can do it. Stress reduction hopefully does not feel stressful to you. But if anything, you will notice that when you practice this in your day-to-day life, these simple approaches, just even taking a minute every day to practice this, it will have a lasting impact, a lifetime impact, in fact.
If you're working on stress management and you feel like you have tried it all, but you are still struggling, talk to your doctor or a mental health professional. New tools are being developed all the time. And even trying a tool that you used in the past, but with a new helper or a new doctor, you might be surprised at the results. Cognitive behavioral therapy is another powerful tool to be used against stress, and your doctor might even recommend medications if they're appropriate. If you're still struggling with stress and anxiety, it not only affects your mental health, but your physical health. So reach out and get help.